Hi, everybody. What's going on? How we doing? It's a brand new day. It's a brand new Slasher Town app. How we feeling? What's going on? Are we all doing good? Yes. Heck yeah, here we go. Thank you, Cell of Approval. There are ants all over me. That sounds like it's that's a you thing, I think. Yeah, Slasher Town. Clark will be on at some point, I am sure. What's I don't like to take too much time. Oh wow, I'm a little blurry, aren't I? Oh, and I can hear myself. Let me fix that for me. Ooh. Wait, oh no, this is background music. Oh. Okay, that took me a second. Thanks for the reroll. It's a brand new day, brand new Slasher Town. I'm feeling good. Yeah, thanks, K Patrick. I'm feeling good too. It is murder in time, Shu. Let's see if you murder anybody tonight. Will she? Who knows? Will Penny murder someone? It's a big question I have. Okay, just before we bring on all of our friends for this show, let me just go over some of the ways that you can spend your what are they called? Bits? Shit. I will get this word right. I will get this word right one time in 2 years. It is bits that we spend. Yes, what we spend are the bits, but what are the things in the orb? Like if I click that little orb, that's called something different than a bit, right? I hear frantic typing from somebody. Okay, that's channel points. There we go. Okay, you can spend bits to get several different things tonight on the show. You can spend bits to add a die. We're playing off the Tales of the Loop system, so it changes the number of dice they roll. It's always a 6-sided dice. A success is a 6. Lots of 6s is a critical success. Anything that isn't a 6, no 6s show up, that's a failure. 1s are a critical failure, but a 6 will always cancel out a 1. So you can give a player an added die. You can give them a reroll. You can give me an auto 1 to spend on them. That's an auto failure. Or you can give a player an auto 6, or you can add an obsession. An NPC with an obsession. So, for example, a person who's obsessed with John, who's obsessed with dinosaurs. And during the game, I will find a way to incorporate your NPC into what is going on. So those are always fun. We always have a fun time. I think that's everything. Be respectful. It's a game. We're chill. It's Slasher Town. There's blood. I'm obsessed with that Kate Bush song. Okay, before I bring everybody else on, one last topic I have to talk about is all of you people that are just finding Running Up That Hill by Kate Bush, you're outing yourself as straight. And I need you to know that. Thank you. That's all that I have. That's all that I have to say. Happy Pride. And now let's bring on our guests, our friends. What's up?
You can't lead us in like that.
This guy.
Sorry, it's true. The way that song was formative to my teen experience is really important. So anyway, thanks y'all. How are we doing before we get into gameplay?
I don't know. I'm just, rationalizing my straightness, I guess.
No idea. I am doing great. Thank you so much for asking.
Thank you.
Yes. We have a very special guest. Y'all met him as an NPC last game, but it is a Tom Cruise as yes. This is gonna be the stream that kills me.
I'm not trying to kill you. I'm trying to avoid dying myself.
Yeah.
What do you think we started a little late. What do you think we just dive into this little game? This
I think that's great.
This funky music is my fave. Ooh. All right. I know, I can't believe we got Tom Cruise, the actual Tom Cruise, to be on Slasher Town. But let's start. Here we go. This is Slasher Town. You know it. You've probably been there. The suburban town that you're imagining, that's Slasher Town. It's one of the safest towns in the USA. Well, it was until 3 murders rocked the town. The first one at the Slasher Town premiere of the brand new Scream 6. The second, our friend Zeke, a high schooler in town, and the third, Mindy, close friend of Zeke, as well as a close friend of our main heroes. With a shoddy police department getting absolutely nothing done, thanks, Sheriff Dan, our heroes have decided to take matters into their own hands. They were down and out when an unlikely friend in the form of the wrongly accused, highly annoying teen, Dirk Crentwood, gave them information that could change their investigation. Something about the Pram case, a mysterious document known only as the Pram case. We're all caught up, yeah? Well, almost. We're going to fast forward time a little bit, just a few days. This is 3 days after the murder of Mindy. And 2 things that we've missed, 2 important things that happened, is the first, Tom Cruise's character, Tom Cruise, or Tom Cruise in character, unclear. Tom Cruise sprinted away, clearly innocent, but clearly not looking to be seen by everyone. This is right after Mindy's murder, witnesses it, and ran away. And that very same night, Sheriff Dan instilled a curfew. That's right, Sheriff Dan curfew. New info for us. After sundown, nobody goes outside. But let's check in with our crew now, yeah? This is a few days after Mindy's murder, and our friends Penny, Wyatt, and Hazel, they have decided to have a little bit of a sleepover. And whose house are they having a sleepover at, y'all?
We could totally do my place. We've got the back house where like the garage is, but we've converted it into a space with like a pool table, and there are a couple couches and a nice big TV, plenty of space for like us to hang out without, the folks being all up in our business or whatever.
Yeah, I think that
love
sounds
that.
great because my parents don't really do, boy-girl sleepovers or anything like that, or having people over. It's not because of an Asian thing. They just think that other people have bad energy. That's all.
My mom
And-
said 1 kid in the house and 1 kid only. That's it. It's me.
And Wyatt, so we're hanging out at Wyatt's house in the garage that's been recently converted into a super cool teen pad. Can you go into detail describing it a little bit more for us?
Yes, there are surfboards up on the walls purely for decoration. There is an attic that is difficult to get to, but there's a pull string that you can go that you can like bring down. That's mostly for storage. I actually haven't been up there yet. There is an adjacent it was an office, but now it's sort of a bedroom, like craft workspace that like my mom uses. And then there's like another smaller TV room, like what used to be my playroom as a kid is now like a converted little space. And there's also a bathroom over there, but there's sometimes like spiders in the drain. So most of the time I'll just go inside.
Oh, fun. Love a spider in the drain. And Penny, you brought over a game for you all to play that you're playing right now in Wyatt's garage pad. What game were you playing?
It's Monopoly, but it's based on socialism and not capitalism because my parents don't believe in that system. So it
Yes.
can make the best communal property and how the state can better seize the means of production.
Amazing. Why don't we?
It's not
let's
Monopoly,
meet
it's
our
our
heroes.
property.
That's exactly the name. How did you know?
So let's zoom into this and just listen in on what conversation might be happening during this game of our property.
So we all pass go together, and then if we roll poorly, we're all punished.
But we also
Yes,
all
but
share
we
the
all have-
same benefits. Do I understand that right?
Absolutely, Hazel. That's the real power of our property. It's the rise of it, and that's when you get the little car with the sickle and hammer on it.
Oh, that's so cool.
I do love that all the trains run on time. That's like very exciting for this game.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes. Public transportation is very important. There's no cars whatsoever.
That's so
Mm.
great. You know, everybody's treated fairly. It's really nice. Healthcare seems great.
Exactly. And there's no money in the game at all. It really fixes all of Monopoly's problems.
Yeah,
I'm
you
glad
just
you
get
guys
a card
understand
that
my parents'
says
vision.
ethical consumption.
Yes, that's right. Community chest for everybody. And I'm so glad we landed on this space, you know?
This is awesome.
And just as you all move your little your boot, your car, your sickle and star to on the space that is right as you move it onto your space that is free healthcare, pay nothing, a feeling comes over you, and it's this feeling of missing Mindy. Should usually be a fourth person here, and she's absolutely not. But more than that, no matter how hard you each try, you can't shake the feeling of what Dirk Crentwood said to you just a few days ago. And you hear him in your head like an echo. The Pramicords. Something connected to the Pramicords. The Pramicords. You can find them in the classified section of the library.
Pramicords.
What do you,
Are
did
you thinking about that too?
Oh, were you thinking about that too? Wow.
Yeah, it echoes in my head like a dance instructor from New York. It's just like constantly ringing.
Amazing. Do you know anything about
No, but I know where the library is.
that? Maybe we should
I'm
go.
honestly impressed by that. Yeah.
Oh, I'm impressed too. That's actually, yeah. It's pretty impressive. We should go read about that, I guess, sometime, you know. Have a book club. I'm really good at being book club leader. I know you guys probably don't care about that, but just saying, I have skills in the
No,
library, of course.
I care about that. You care about that, so I care about that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Absolutely. I'll pretend to not care about it in front of other people, but you know, deep at heart, it's really cool that you're like book club president, like no matter what.
Thank you. If you guys ever need like books, we have really good ones in the back. You just can't let Miss Minshew find out. So, yeah, just let me know. I got you on the side.
Wow. And as you're talking about these Pramicords, the sun is beginning to set, and through like that little slit at the top of like a little like garage window, orange light shines in a brilliant, almost foreboding way across all of your faces, and you realize that if there was a time to get these Pramicords, it would probably be after the curfew that was instilled, so that you could do it under the cloak of night without being seen. And as this is dawning on you, you hear a motorcycle coming down the street. It's been routine. It's not something super crazy to y'all because this is how it's been. It's Brent Farnes on a police motorcycle, and he's announcing the curfew with his annoying alarm. Curfew! Curfew! The motorcycle lets out a big spurt, and he says, "Ugh, I can't wait to get this damn thing to the shop." And then he speeds off just as the fading light turns to night. And the pram case does mean sneaking out of the house on curfew.
He really needs to get that carburetor fixed. It's making so much noise in the neighborhood. Ugh. Disgusting.
Bad for the earth.
So bad. So bad. Well, I really
Hey.
enjoyed social poly? Am I saying the game right?
I think it's
Social
our property.
poly.
I think
Yes.
it's
Our property.
yeah, it's really not about labels.
Right. Speaking of reading, I think we should probably do some research while we're here. I mean, a lot of weird stuff, a lot of sad and scary stuff has happened the past few days. We saw somebody get murdered right in front of us.
Twice.
Well,
2 people.
I have to admit, that was my first murder. Poor Mindy.
Oh,
really
first
sad.
murder. It's tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been weird that every week our murder seeing has increased by 100%. So, well, you know what? This little sickle, this one goes out to Mindy.
For Mindy.
For Mindy.
Let's go figure this out for Mindy.
Yeah.
Guys, I have the library keys since, I'm such an A student. And, of course, I'm the book club president. We could make some time and run by and get as much material as we can.
I actually just put some soft wheels on my skateboard just in case, and you two can use my parents' bikes if you want. We can go down there like now.
We just have to be careful not to get
Yeah.
caught. Yeah, let's do that. I
All
want to
right.
hop on.
Well, no one's going to be outside because they're on a curfew. So let's go.
Wyatt, where are your parents' bikes?
They're on the side of the house next to the outdoor shower.
Great. So let's start sneaking out. How are we gonna sneak out of here? Wyatt, I'm throwing this in your court. It's your house.
Yeah, so alongside of the house, so you can take a small stone pathway up to the house. Right next to the koi pond, on the other side is the big palm tree. There's sort of an outdoor lattice, but there's the big long driveway that we could go right next to the house, but that thing slams shut very loudly. So the alternative is to go out the empty lot on the other side of the house where my dad is illegally keeping chickens. But there are a bunch of chickens back there. So, I mean, it's pretty much a toss-up, but we won't have to deal with our dog if we go out the back. So I think the chickens might actually be quieter.
All right. Let's sneak out through the chickens. You the three of y'all, you creep out. You creep out of the garage and you turn toward the path where the chickens are. And it's a shit ton of chickens. We're talking chickens on chickens. Asleep. And you know what? I know that this is sort of not typically how we play games, but let's have each of you do a sneak check to get past the chickens.
Right.
Yes.
Roll for chicken? Okay.
Roll for
With all the
chicken.
chickens.
I'm gonna use my added die.
God, there's so many.
There's a lot of chickens.
You're gonna use your added die. Okay.
Yes, we gotta get out of this house, dude. We can't get busted right out the gate. We gotta go. We have
Roll for
surprise.
chicken.
Oh gosh.
Let's see.
Here
Oh,
we
did
go.
y'all roll? I can't see it.
I'm gonna add a die. I got a 4 and
We're
a
also
2.
gonna add a die. A 4 and a 2.
I'm
Oh,
also
you're not
going to
very
add a
sneaky.
die. And I got a 6.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I added my die and it didn't work out. I got a 2, a 4, and a 1.
Incredible.
I got 3 5s, a 3, and a 1.
There we go. 2
So,
5s, a 3.
Am I
and
the
a
only
1.
one who...
Yes.
Yeah.
You're
Did
so
you pick a chicken
stealthy.
on your way
Penny,
out?
Penny, how did you sneak out so well?
It's because I have spent a lot of time meditating, so I have a very thorough understanding of how to communicate with nature because my parents are kind of like hippies like that. So I was able to look the chickens in the eye and communicate with them and express to them that if they don't let me through, I'm going to turn all their asses into soup. And then they
And
just
they-
parted ways like a sea, just like a red sea of chickens.
And one
So you're
chicken,
saying-
one chicken bows to you, and then looks you in the eye and just very softly is like, I don't know if my mic even picked that up. I did.
And I bow back.
Oh no, that was incredible. We
You
loved
did.
that.
It was really
Thank
good. It was so good. Yeah.
And then Hazel and Wyatt. Wyatt, I'm gonna say you take the next step, being the leader, but you step directly on a chicken, and the chicken just immediately goes, and it wakes all of the chickens up, and they're all just like, wah, 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 wah. What do we do instantly? What do we do?
I scream out, I leap off of him and I go, Carlito, no, I'm so sorry. And then, and I'm like, oh no, this is just like Legend of Zelda when you piss off one of the cuckoos. Run!
You named
Yes.
all the chickens?
Yeah.
And I start running. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everyone is unique,
Sorry,
individual,
we
and
just
special.
take off running.
You gotta honor that.
Is your parents' bikes too tall for me? I have to adjust the seat.
We definitely do.
Wait. I start adjusting the seat immediately.
The
And then
chickens are
Marvel-
because of that. You're stopped, and these chickens are still like.
Quiet. Hush. Do y'all have any snacks? Do y'all have any snacks to throw the chickens?
No, I just start clucking back at them, trying to communicate.
I look.
Not good at it.
And as you're trying to communicate, the back door towards the chicken farm opens, and let's say your dad is. What's your dad's name, Wyatt?
Oh, it's in my notes. Let me find that. If you would be so so kind. I swear they're in here.
Parents.
I wrote it down.
Who are those
Probably
guys?
just John.
Who are the parents?
Oh wait,
Waiting for a John.
I'm so sorry. No, it's Kyle. My mother's name is Joan.
Oh.
That's why I got confused. Kyle.
Ooh. Okay. I'm
You don't want
sorry.
a dad named
We're gonna
Kyle.
go with your mom. We're gonna go with your mom because her name is Joan.
Yeah.
So it's actually your mom. It's Joan, your mom, and she's like, Wyatt, what are you doing in this chicken coop? She's Southern. I'm sorry, everybody.
Oh no!
It's like,
And I look back at my
"Why-
friends and I
what are
said,
you doing in this
"Oh no,
chicken coop?"
she's upset. Her accent's coming through."
I did not drag my ass here from Tennessee just to have my son in the chicken coop after curfew.
Distract.
Sorry, Mom. I just wanted to show my friends the chickens, and they got real excited.
Let's do a charm check. Oh, and my camera died.
Gosh,
There we
my
go. I'm back. Let's do a
absolute
charm check?
specialty.
Yeah.
I was looking at the wrong character. I got super excited to see my numbers so high. So I'm rolling 4 and praying. Nope. That's 3, 3, 2, and 5.
Oh.
she's like, I don't care what who you're showing what chicken to. You get your ass. You can't get your ass back inside. I'm standing right here until you calm these chickens down.
Okay.
And then she puts her
So I
hands on her
remember-
hips.
Yeah. I go, okay, Mom. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I know it's been a long day at the hospital. Okay. My mom's a nurse.
I watched 4 people die.
I've only watched 2, so you got me there. And then I'll turn to the chickens, and I will begin to sing the song that I often hear my dad sing when he goes to feed them. Tooraloo-ra-loo-ra, tooraloo-ra-lie. I give you all this feed. That's a chicken lullaby.
Wow. I'm not even gonna make you roll for that. The chickens all all instantly. Can you just describe actually for me how the chicken that was wonderful? Just describe how the chickens respond.
They like, you see a couple of them start to get sleepy, like their eyes close and then their heads like tuck back into their bodies and they like frill out their feathers a bit and become like little bulbous beings. And you see a couple of them like kind of like nuzzle into each other and kind of rest their necks and heads on each other and create like a domino pile of cuddles. And then and one of them just full falls asleep on my foot.
You now kids, you say what you want about Wyatt and his skateboard, but he's got a way with them chicks. And then she looks you in the eyes and she says, "Love you, honey." And then she turns around and she walks away.
So as not to wake up the chicken on my foot, I just scoop him up under my arm. Under my other arm is my skateboard, and I say, "Okay, I think we're good. Let's go."
Amazing.
Okay,
So are you
perfect.
taking the chicken with you?
There is no world in which I don't take this sleeping chicken with me on this adventure to a library.
Yes. Let's put the sleeping chicken. Is this Carlito?
No, this is Charleston.
Carlito
Carlito got stepped on, and I don't want to irritate him any further.
That's true.
Charleston's
Let's put
narcoleptic.
Charleston. Let's give your dad a front basket in his seat, and
Sure.
let's put Charlton in that little.
Can I
front basket
take it a
for
step
you.
further? Can it be a full
Yeah.
fanny pack, like an oversized fanny pack on the front of this bike?
Yes, I didn't know that was a thing.
It's not. It is today.
Great. Good.
It
That's what
is
this
in
show
Slasher
for.
Town.
Yes. Okay, so y'all get on your bikes. You have the skateboard, but you put the chicken in the dad's. Who's riding the dad's bike? Who's riding the mom's bike? Hazel or Penny?
I rode the dad's bike, and I was like, "What took you guys so long? The Chicken Kingdom is beautiful and wonderful. Give me this chicken." And I put it in my front little fanny pack of this.
There we go.
This dad bike.
Great.
I don't think chickens really like me so much. I think they smell my fear. I don't know. It was, I got blinded by all the feathers and the chicken poop, so I just rushed in a blind, just run, and I tried to hop on the bike.
They're just intimidated because your brain's so big, and theirs is like small.
Yeah.
Well, that is very true for a
Yeah.
chicken, Ugh. Well,
You
we're
have to
here.
meet them where they are. Oh wow, that's a short bike ride.
Oh no, we made it
So-
to you. We made it to you.
No, you were absolutely
I
not
was
at the
like,
library
I don't
yet.
think we moved at all.
Oh,
So
no.
y'all
I
y'all
didn't
jump
wanna
on your
say anything.
bike. Y'all jump on the bikes, or you're on the bikes. Wyatt, you're on your skateboard. You're sneaking through the shadows of Slasher Town after curfew. Sneaking. Let's say Hazel, what's the coolest house you pass on this little nighttime creep toward the library?
Ugh. You're asking me which house do I pass? I'm sorry.
Yeah, what are some of the houses you're passing if you want to describe one for me?
There's a really nice yellow wood paneled one with one of my favorite, like just simple roofing, like brown roofing, and nice little chimney up top. And the windows, you can tell on the inside, have some of the most like pretty curtains. Somebody who has very good like style and taste lives there. Lots of roses in everyone's front yards. Very nice and neat mailboxes. Lots of nice little like pastel colored cars, blue, yellow, maybe like a red one because they're speedsters. I don't know. Mom always tells me red is for show offs, but it's fine. I still like them anyway.
And you've truly stopped in the middle of the street to say this exact thing to them about how much you admire this little house and its wood slats and its cars. And then mid that little ramble about what's going on, from behind one of those pastel little cars, you hear something from behind it.
What
You
does it
hear
sound like?
I don't think I'm going to be the one to do it. Just do that little sound.
Did y'all hear that? I'm
Yes!
sorry for my very
Yeah, it
long
sounded-
spiel on
Yes!
this
Hello!
particular house. Oh!
Someone just keeps shouting yes and hello.
Hello? Yes, hello.
How's it going?
We have a chicken. We are not afraid to use it. Who are you?
What's your name?
am I?
You look so Yeah.
He is still behind the car, technically. This person has not
Yes.
stepped out from behind the car.
That's what
It's
I
the car.
Can't you tell from my voice?
Do you guys
No.
know who that is?
I just want to like peek my head up.
Literally
It's
no
like-
idea.
Yeah, you peek your head up, and you're wearing big glasses, and I think it becomes instantly clear to all of you just from seeing the head who you're looking at. It's the same man that you saw in the jail cell right after, or at the prison, or at the jail right after Mindy was murdered.
Oh, so that wasn't a dream. You were really there. Oh, guys,
Oh.
I know.
Isn't
It's
that-
Top Gun.
that guy from that movie.
No, that's not. That you're mistaken. My name is Detective Nathan Galdry.
Is that like
And
an
let's take a
actor role?
pause here for a moment to do a little spotlight on Nathan Galdry. Nathan Galdry from Scream 6. Nathan Galdry from Scream 6. The cameo played by Tom Cruise. And instead of me tell you about
Yes.
the famous scene from it, I figured Nathan Galdry himself will tell you.
Well, it was a regular
So, Nathan-
afternoon on Bring Your Daughter to Work Day. Unseasonably hot, sure, but nothing out of the ordinary. No. The morning started like it always did with some coffee and a butter croissant. And then the call came in. The fire station was on fire. I mean, who's going to help the fire department when it's on fire? Sheriff Nathan Galdry, that's who. I got there not a moment too soon. My daughter's in there. The fire chief screamed at me. Say no more, I said. I rushed in, rubble falling all around me, the smoke overwhelming, and there I saw her cloaked in a dark robe. I carried her out over my shoulder to safety and threw her on the back of my motorcycle to rush her to medical attention. Suddenly, I felt a sharp pain in my back. I looked back and can you believe it was none other than Ghostface? So I did what any hero would do, and I crashed. I woke up in the bush back there, and my motorcycle was gone, and Ghostface was gone as well.
Oh my gosh.
And
Why
that's
do you
his scene
sound
from
exactly
Scream
like Tom
6.
Cruise? And yeah, also look exactly like Tom Cruise.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's
I'm just a
the name
detective.
I was
I'm
looking
Dewey's
for.
replacement.
And I hold up the chicken really close. I'm like, you lie to me. You lie to Charleston.
Charleston doesn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
I would never lie to Charleston. I'm just a humble detective, and I need help. All right, we need to find my motorcycle.
What are you detecting, Mr.
What I'm detecting
Galdry?
is
Yeah.
Ghostface
If that's your
and the
name.
motorcycle are connected. Now, if we find the motorcycle, we should also be able to find Ghostface, since that's the last time I saw him. It's just logic.
Swear
You also
on this
mentioned your
chicken's
daughter
life
being on it.
that you're not Tom Cruise.
No. It was the fire chief's daughter. The fire chief. Pay attention.
Don't take that tone with him. Jeez.
Yeah, be nice. God.
Penny,
Just a
can you
kid.
roll a comprehension check for me?
Yes. 3 mind, 2. That's 5.
Yes. Okay, it sort of clicks for you. Whether or not Tom Cruise is method acting or not, you get this feeling that this person, this Tom Cruise figure, is fully in character as the man from Scream 6. And also that he is after the same ghost figure after. Perhaps.
Okay. Quick team huddle, you guys. And I take Charleston and I huddle with everyone.
Yeah,
I
we
wanna
Yeah,
hop
you
in the
got
huddle,
from the
too.
bottom, and we're all like leaned in together, and the chicken is one of the heads.
Yes.
Oh,
Incredible.
absolutely. The chicken's
Yes.
there.
Yeah. the chicken, and I was just like, listen, all right, I think that's Tom Cruise, and I think he's kind of doing this weird character, but like Charleston can kind of sense like the trueness of his craft, you know, so like he wasn't trying to react, so I don't.
What is he doing out here in Slasher Town? Does he have like a movie to... I heard this is like the actor's process, right? Where they immerse themselves into very real situations to prep for their next role or some weird thing like that. I don't know. So strange.
I don't do drama.
That's true.
Listen,
What do you think?
whether he is who he says he is or he happens to be the real Timothy Johansson Cruz, it seems like he's on our side. So
I guess we do need an adult, you know.
I wanna tap one of them on the
True.
back.
Absolutely.
okay.
Yeah. Hi. I don't know if you were listening to my story there, but I was stabbed in the back. So show me medical attention.
I thought you were just oh gosh.
No, I'm bleeding,
really,
and I turn around and like show that my back is like dripping with blood.
I thought you were just being enthusiastic.
Wow.
Oh gosh. I pull
It's
out.
really dedicated, yeah.
I pull out my.
There should be
my
some super glue in the
medical
fanny
kit.
pack.
Yes. A sharp
Okay. I
duct
put-
tape. All
yeah.
of it.
For some reason, I trust these children to duct tape my wound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They patch up your wound with duct tape and super glue.
And there's like a little
um,
Listerine strip we put on it to clean it.
Oh.
Charleston eats half of it, and we're trying to pull it out of the
That's
chicken's mouth.
that's stinging really bad. It's stinging really bad.
That's how you know it's working.
I stop Wyatt with the super glue. I say we don't fix put that back. But the Listerine I'll allow. And the
You know, I
duct
am
tape.
sensing that you all have really good Thetan levels, so we're gonna move forward.
Just don't get.
Okay, yeah, all right, yeah.
Try not to get stabbed again. Okay, this is literally being held by.
Who's trying to get stabbed? You know.
That's true.
I know you
Okay.
didn't mean it as a threat, but that fully sounded like a threat.
Yeah.
I didn't
So-
mean it as a threat. Pay
First
attention.
question.
Again,
First question. Okay, since you're a detective, where are your notes?
I pull out a notepad and I start flipping through. And I turn around and it's just a doodle of a cat. I really wasn't paying
These-
attention to the briefing.
These are your clues.
How good is this though? It's pretty good. I want to pass it around.
we got to find that cat.
Wyatt.
Why does the cat have a word bubble that just says cat on it? Why is that a...
Because
what? That's
what do you
fine.
think cats are thinking of?
Is it an
all day?
anagram?
They're thinking of cats.
Does the cat have anything to do with Ghostface? Anything?
You know, no, I don't think it does. But if we find the motorcycle, like I was saying, we just need to get to the motorcycle because that's the last time I saw Ghostface. He probably stole it. Or she. Or they.
Okay. We were going to go to the library so we could do some more research. Maybe you'll remember which direction the motorcycle went on the way there. Does that sound like a plan?
That sounds great.
Mr. Detective.
Let's have
Yes.
our first roll for Tom Cruise. Tom, can you roll your contact for me?
Looking for... Okay, got it.
I'm just sitting there just like some detective. Jeez.
Oh my god.
I did get a 6 there.
Contact is crazy.
Wow.
You'll never fail a contact roll. As y'all set off in the direction of the library, biking slowly so that Tom's little legs can keep up with you.
I just feel like I have to interject here. Tom Cruise is famously one of the
Yeah.
best runners in the world, and he can absolutely keep up with children on bikes.
Okay, all right, I'll take it. Note taken, note heard. So we're doing the exact opposite. As
I'm not
y'all
even
are
out of
biking and skateboarding at full volume, Tom Cruise is jogging next to y'all, doing very fine. I was trying to make a Tom Cruise short joke. That's on me. I get it. And then it hits Tom Cruise, not like an idea, a thought. He remembers that the last time that he saw a motorcycle in Slasher Town, it was being driven by a cop of some sort who was exclaiming loudly that it was being taken to an auto body shop.
Mm-hmm. You know, the last time I saw a motorcycle, as I'm sprinting along them, was at the auto. It was being taken to an auto body shop. I think that's where we should go first.
Great.
Okay, I asked you about what you would think if you were the last white samurai in Japan, and this is your answer?
Look, that film was historically accurate. Look it up.
You're just dodging the question. I have a lot of questions about this. God, you're so fast at running.
It was respectful. It was respectful, and it was true to history.
Okay. How many body shops are there in Slasher Town? That's the first question. I feel like you're not taking your detective job seriously.
There
Sorry,
are
just
6,
gotta
according to
1 second.
Wyatt, who I'll just give it to. There are. God forbid I ever say a wrong thing about Tom Cruise's running again. As penance, I'll say that there are 6 auto body shops in Slasher Town. But one is perhaps more famous than all the others. And Wyatt, what was the name of that one?
Oh, Otto's Body.
Otto's
OTTO
Body.
'S Body Shop. Otto's Body Shop.
Ah,
That's great.
It is a combination. During the day, it is an auto shop. During the night, it is a strip club.
so
It's
really
like a double
is,
meaning.
It's just Otto's Body. That's
Yeah,
Classic.
exactly.
Incredible.
wow.
Don't give me power. I'll abuse it.
No, I love it. Please abuse the power. It's a male strip club. It's an after dark male strip club during the day auto body shop. But as there's a curfew, the strip club is closed, but the auto body shop is open. and there is a sign on the door of the auto body shop when we get there, so I don't forget, that does say Otto's Body, shop open, body closed. So let's get you on over. I'm gonna say Tom does a quick pivot. He knows where the auto body shop is for some reason. He does a quick pivot and he sprints in that direction. Y'all follow him. It takes only about a couple of minutes, but you arrive at Otto's Body. It's a tiny auto body shop. It was just a few blocks away from where you are, and as you approach it, you see, lit by the garish fluorescence of the light that's usually exterior of an auto body shop, you see 2 garages, the doors shut. So sort of to your left as you're facing it. To the left, you see 2 garages, the doors shut, and spray painted on the front of the garage. One garage says Autos, the other garage says Body. There's a car on one, and then there's a 6-pack of abs on the other, spray painted. And then connected to those garages, a small dark green structure. It's the obvious lobby of the auto body shop. And there's 2 large glass doors that lead into the auto body shop, dimly lit. You can make out a desk with a stack of tires behind it. And of course, there in the shadows, right behind the glass doors, a beacon of hope, the object of Tom Cruise's desire, Brett Farnes' motorcycle.
There
You're
it is,
standing
guys.
outside of it.
Oh.
It's
Oh,
got to
and it
be in
says,
there.
of course, pasted on the thing, shop open, body closed.
Wyatt, are you sure this is the body shop? Like the auto body shop, but
Yeah,
Oh,
can't you
okay.
hear that thick, bassy music and those grunting gentlemen inside?
You would if it wasn't a curfew.
Yeah.
That's true.
You
Well,
hear
it
Dang
the
it, I
seems like
ghosts.
a place
forgot.
that
Man.
would
But you do
The
smell.
echoes of what
I'll
could be.
I'll give you like sweaty body smell and gasoline.
Ooh, yes.
I'll give you get two smell. Right nostril is all sweat, all man musk. Left nostril is just pure gasoline.
okay.
That smells awesome.
Otto, I heard that his family was, an Italian immigrant, and he was able to build this business from the ground up and really, really support his entire family and send his kids to college. Like, this is really a testament to an immigrant's dream right here.
It's
I'm
something,
gonna check
alright.
hard for
for a
that
roof
body.
entrance, and then I just like run over to
Oh,
where like the storm
wait.
drain and like the gutter is, and just start shimmying up the
Detective.
gutter.
Detective,
Ooh,
we
can
don't.
you do a move check, Tom,
Yeah.
for that?
While he's doing that, I'm gonna say we should check around first. It's dangerous. Ugh, this guy.
No ones, but no sixes.
No ones, but no sixes. Okay, we'll say that you climb up the gutter. You're climbing up the gutter. That's what you said you were doing, right? Climbing up the gutter.
Yeah.
But from your muscle mass in your tight body, the gutter pulls down a little bit, and it's like you can't. If you were to push any more down, you just fall straight. You just plummet straight down off the roof.
And I'm like hanging by one hand, like the wind like blowing my jacket back, but I'm actually only hovering about 2 feet off the ground. Somebody help me!
Just get down.
How do you have time to pour? Get down from there. How do you have time to put like baby powder everywhere and just move his body through all of these lasers?
And I
You
just
know, he
like
does
let
look good
myself
up
drop,
there.
but I'm like flailing on the way down.
What? I said slide down. Ugh. Does he land on the ground? Does he fall? It's only
But as I hit
Yeah,
the
he's-
ground, I roll and then get it back up into a standing position immediately.
There we go.
You feel better?
Yeah, he's
Is that fun?
Guys, the roof's
for
not an
you?
option.
Right. We're gonna go
Okay.
check for the doors now, okay? Wyatt, you seem to know this place. Let's go check it out.
Yeah, this is the auto body shop that my dad said I shouldn't go to for like go-kart supplies. So I don't know it that well, but yeah, I've been here once or twice.
You know it better than I
Um,
do.
That's true. There should be like a side or a back door. Maybe somebody foolishly left it open.
Penny,
Yeah.
can you watch the detective? We should all go back, but I just need you to keep an extra set of eyes on him.
I'm
No
just gonna check the
problem.
perimeter.
No, you come
No,
with
you're
us.
not.
I can cover it.
Jeez.
This is my job.
No, listen.
What are you
listen,
worried
Mr.
about?
Not Tom Cruise. And I'm gonna just like pull him by the collar. You, me, and the chicken are gonna walk around. And then I have Charleston in.
Missed an opportunity to
Penny,
say squawk
can you-
around.
Penny, can you Penny, can you do a lead check?
You got it. Is that a lead check? Is that? Oh, it's a heart. I have 2. Okay. Yes.
I love that.
What
That's a
did
good one.
What was that?
I got
Let's see.
a D6.
Oh, amazing. There we go. Okay, Tom listens to you, and in fact, can you describe his expression when you tell him he's gonna stay put?
I
are you
just
asking me?
pulled him down.
No,
Yeah.
I'm asking Penny.
Yeah, I pull him down and I have the chicken and up. Okay. I have a lot of thoughts about how you disrespected Anne Rice with your portrayal in the vampire, and I'm holding the chicken. I'm like, and Charles and I, we have some thoughts, okay? And then I turn to the group and I'm like, yeah, you guys go ahead. We got this.
Great.
Okay.
So you walk around the perimeter to check for a back door that Wyatt said that there was. And as you check the perimeter, feeling along, the auto body shop is sort of it's pretty dark behind the auto body shop. The fluorescent lights don't really bleed there. It kind of leads out to like more hedges, more sort of just suburban ways. You're not even necessarily near homes. You're sort of in that, that weird part of the suburb where it's just sort of like there's like maybe a grocery store like down the path. You're sort of in like almost like a strip mall-esque part of suburbia. And you go around the back wall. You don't find any side doors. And I think what becomes clear to you as you're walking around is that the entrances are either through the garage doors or through the front door, through the front glass doors.
Wyatt, I don't see a back door.
It's probably for the best that Otto's body doesn't have a back door. Let's go around front and see what we can do up there.
All right, let's check it out. This goes way over Hazel's head. Yeah, we'll go around, check out the front. Are the doors locked? I think they should be, but I just have to try.
Yeah, you want to try the doors?
Yes.
The doors are totally locked. Yeah, the doors are just completely locked. They don't budge as you pull them. But I will say, I'll give you that as you pull on the doors, you do see a little sticker above the handle of the door that says "Protected by AVT Alarm Security."
Oh. Oh, wow. Otto's body's pretty locked down. We gotta be careful not to set it off. I want to look through the windows. I'm sure there are windows, right? Like, what do I see inside?
Yeah. Let's do an investigation check for you.
I didn't quite catch that. Which check am I doing?
An investigation check. Sorry, did I get a little weird?
No, that's
A little
perfect.
funky?
No, thank you. That works. I have no dice in that. I'm just gonna roll one. Here we go. Oh, half. I got a 3.
Okay. When you look in, it's hard to see, but you do see you see the bike, you see the desk, and then you see sort of next to the desk the the edge of a door, but it's impossible to tell whether that door is locked, but it does become clear that that door does lead into the garages.
The door leads into the garages.
Like the
Why?
door through next to the desk, yeah.
Oh, okay. Door next to the desk. I gotta think this one out, Wyatt. Do you think there's any way that we could get inside? Without setting off the alarm? I mean...
Oh, I was ready for the first part. When you came in with the second, I completely, my first plan went out the window. So I'm going to go with not at this time, but I am happy to brainstorm with you about potential solutions. So we could check to see if there are any locks that we can jiggle loose on the garage doors themselves. We could see if there are any loose windows or loose screens. That's 100% everything I got at the moment. Back to you, Hazel.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, the best solutions come with a little bit of time and a little bit of brain grease. Let's go check and see if the others have found anything at all. What's Penny doing? Do we see Penny?
Yeah, you're in essentially a parking lot for an auto body shop. But let's
Penny.
go to Penny and Tom. What's going on over there?
And that's why the Edge of Tomorrow's kind of time travel is actually impossible. And I just think that you're really not doing time travel in science fiction a lot of justice. It also, like, if you read the original manga, it's actually done very, very well, and it's very different. And do you have any thoughts about this?
Look, I am a detective and an officer in the Slasher Town Police Department, and you are under arrest. I'm just
Or
kidding.
what?
No, it was a joke. I'm sorry, you didn't get it, but it didn't land. We can move on.
You have one tone. You say it for serious things, and you say it for jokes, and I can't tell what you're saying.
Sometimes me either, you know?
And in the middle of
How
that
about that,
debate,
auto body shop?
Wyatt and Hazel, you stroll back up to them in the middle of this surprising anti-Edge of Tomorrow stance, which we're gonna have to
I actually really liked it, but
post-stream.
I'm a big Emily Blunt guy.
I do want a small correction. It was called Live, Die, Repeat.
No, I want to correct you real quick. That was a rebranding after the movie did bad.
My mom
no,
won't let me
false.
watch-
There was no previous movie. That was it. That was the title.
My mom won't let me watch any of your movies anyway, so yeah.
Well, I
Not
mean,
even, like, far
I can't
away?
help it that your mom's a bitch. So
Oh,
I'm gonna tell my mom that you said that. Jezebel Morrison's gonna be on your bumper, you fake detective. I'm gonna turn my head and I'm gonna look at Penny. I'm gonna say, Penny, this is serious. Clearly we have a big giant baby with us. We need to pay attention. There's an alarm system inside, and if he goes traipsing around,
I'm
he's gonna
sick and
break
tired of being
something.
stuck in the mud here, and I just want to like pick up a rock and throw it through the front door.
oh. Okay.
So
Tom
violent.
Cruise is doing crimes.
Tom Cruise. is
Honestly, I saw this one
right.
coming.
Tom, let's do a Let's do a force check. Oh no.
All right.
Hazel's gonna freak out if this works.
Oh yeah, there's a 6.
Oh, God.
Of course there was a
you're
6.
playing, I have to go out of game for a sec to be like, the way that you're playing Tom Cruise is making me force you to roll on stats that you have really well. Okay. You toss the rock. Can you explain what happens as you throw that rock?
Yeah, I wing back and I throw it as hard as I can through the door. And as the rock is traveling and in midair, I get ready and I'm sprinting behind it while it's traveling, almost keeping up with the rock. The rock smashes through the front door, and I do a roll through, and I look back at the group and I'm like, I'm in.
And as you say I'm in and the glass is shattering above you, instantly an alarm starts going off. It is very loud and it goes beep 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 beep. You have 5 minutes to depart before authorities are alerted. You have
Everybody
5
get
minutes
your bikes!
to depart.
Guys,
before
it's fine. I'm the authorities.
are departed.
It's me.
No, you're just you are a wild person who doesn't understand human decency. Guys, get on your bikes. He's gonna make us accomplices. We could go to jail. Ugh, this is what I get for not
Listen.
following protocol.
Listen, in for a penny,
If
in
you
for a
don't
Hazel.
listen to Hazel.
Find the keys.
You have 4 minutes and 45 seconds
That
to
was a
depart
fast
before
minute.
authorities are alerted.
Oh,
4 minutes 45 seconds.
You find your bike on your own.
I want to begin searching around the shop to see if I see my motorcycle.
Jeez, this guy. I'm getting on my bike.
Can you do an investigation check? Can you
Yeah.
do an investigation check, Tom?
I'm
Sure can.
waving at Penny and Wyatt to come on. This is not what we bargained for. The strange man on the street. He's just breaking into auto body.
him.
Why not?
Okay, I'm gonna use both my reroll and add a die to that one. Let's try that again.
Okay, great. Oh.
Damn it!
Wow. Okay, the motorcycle to everyone else is very obviously right in front of you, but you cannot see it. I
think we went to the wrong shot.
I get really upset. So I do see this bike. He's just looking for the keys.
You do. Yes.
I will look for these. I'll go inside and I'll see if I can find these keys.
Boop, boop. You have 4 minutes until authorities arrive.
Should I roll for that?
For looking for the keys?
Yes.
Yeah, let's have you look for the keys. Let's do
Okay.
let's do another investigation check for you.
Okay, here we go. I find the
A
keys.
6. Well, yes. You find a key. Yeah, you find a key.
I find a key. Does it fit in the motorcycle?
You find a pile of keys. Let's do that.
Ugh! I shove the keys into his hands and I start trying them.
Okay, great.
Good thinking. I'll try and find the most likely key.
Shut
I'll
up!
start
You shut up!
throwing
Be
random
quiet!
keys to the side that I think aren't right.
I get really irate with this man. I start trying them, all of them, as fast as I can. I use my spatial awareness to see the shape, and if it doesn't seem
There
to
we
match,
go.
I siphon through
because
those
you-
keys.
Because he rolled a success, I'll give you that one of the keys fits. And can you describe what happens when the key fits?
I stuff it in, and I twist it, and it revs to life, and I snap my neck to this Detective Tom Cruise lookalike whatever, and I'm just like, I walk out. And I
suddenly
hop
look
on
up
my
and I'm just
bike.
like, my motorcycle, you found it.
All of your
Yes!
movies were bad anyway.
Yes.
Wow. Tom, what do you do with the motorcycle?
I wanna walk it out the front door where I crashed through, and just like, well, Ghostface isn't here, so I'm kind of out of ideas.
Okay, so now the 4 of you are linked back together. The alarm is still going. You have 2 minutes until authorities are alerted.
Guys, let's just go to the library. I don't even know if this place has cameras. They might follow us later. We gotta go.
We gotta go
How's
read!
Charleston?
On fire. Wait. Do you want us to set us on fire, everything on fire, so that we can cover all evidence first, or do you want to just go straight to the library?
Yes.
Wait, Penny.
Fire.
Penny, that's
Fire.
That's worse, Penny. Penny, that's worse. You can't go in for
I'm giving
arson,
options.
too.
I'm giving options.
A B&E
I mean,
is like
who's
maybe
gonna tell
5
on
months.
the police?
You are not the police. Arson will at least get you a year. Oh my gosh! Just cover
All right,
your tracks.
Fine. Okay, fine.
Also,
fine.
even if you're not convicted of
I'd
arson,
like to.
no one will let
I'd
you
like
be
to
on a
pull out
jury.
the Molotov cocktail that I definitely have inside my jacket pocket.
You know what? I'll just fucking give it to you. That's fine. You pull out a Molotov cocktail, and as you pull that Molotov cocktail out,
Yeah, and I want to light it, and I'm like, it's time to roll, and I just throw it behind me without looking.
and as you
You
throw
didn't even
it
know where that
behind
would
you,
land.
as you throw it behind you, yeah, actually, great point, Penny. Can you do a? Let's do a tinker check for Molotov cocktail.
Oh, that's
This
bad.
is totally
Roll
not
for
in my
Molotov
book
cocktail.
of protocol.
Roll for cocktail.
Well, I got a
This
5.
is against all rules.
Okay, well,
Of
5.
modern
I'm holding
society.
Charleston.
You-
I'm holding Charleston at my side and covering its eyes so it doesn't have to see anything.
You toss the Molotov cocktail behind you, and it it lands like in that awkward space, like in front of the garages, and it just does like a little puny explode. It just goes like,
But I'm like walking away from it like I expected a really big cool guy explosion.
yeah. And as you walk back to the group of 4, as you walk back in the huddle, you hear somebody. There's another presence in that huddle with you, and you just hear someone say, "Whoa, that was a cool explosion." And all of you turn to see that in all of this chaos, Ghostface has joined your little group. And he is standing directly between the explosions and everything. It goes Hazel, Wyatt, Ghostface, Penny, Tom, sort of in that order. That's where we're sitting. So it's kind of almost exactly
Where's
how
the chicken? Where's the chicken?
You're holding the
Charleston!
chicken.
Where's the chicken?
You're still holding
Okay, thank you.
Charleston.
Thank you.
And Ghostface lifts up his knife. What do we do?
Everybody get on your
Run.
bikes now! Run!
And I'm like, I tell him, I'm like, I can run as fast as the bike. Everyone on. My plan is just to sprint next to the motorcycle.
Are you leaving your?
Where's your
Who's on the
motorcycle?
motorcycle?
I'm
Yeah.
telling them to get on the motorcycle because I can clearly keep up with it while running.
If
I don't
he's
know
in
how to
between,
run.
if we're grouped up and he's in the middle, and then you're grouped up, I think we just have to run away from him.
Run away!
Yes.
Yes.
We're talking instantly. This is the.
I don't know.
This
Like,
is
here's the
the
thing, though.
intent-
In the
this is
movies,
exactly
everyone
where we
beats
are.
the shit out of Ghostface, so I feel like I'm gonna tackle him.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Hazel is for
throw
this.
Charleston I'm gonna throw the chicken at Ghostface.
And then 60 other chickens come out of nowhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was
Whoa,
I was
so
who
much-
was I next to?
So much is happening at the same time. let's. I love this. I love this very much. But I feel like the first thing we have to do is we have to throw Charleston at Ghostface. So
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Penny, I'm not even sure what what role is best for that. I'm gonna say we're gonna roll a. I'm gonna say let's roll
Body?
a. It could be a body. It could be a body force. I was almost thinking that it would be a tech program because it's knowing how something works. Let's go with a program check, but let's add 1 for chicken. 1 dice.
Okay, so I have 5 for tech. Program is 2, so that's 7. So then adding
Oh,
an
shit.
extra dice for chicken, that's 8. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm waiting in anticipation.
How did I not? Okay, I'm gonna reroll. I have one of these things.
You have a reroll, right? Yeah. You have a reroll.
I have a reroll.
That is
This
crazy.
chicken cannot die.
That's wild.
That was a lot of
I'm
ones.
so upset.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay,
Yes.
describe what the chicken what Charleston does.
I look at Charleston and we connect telepathically, spiritually, chickenly, and it understands what I needed to do because it has joined our group and is now part of our team. And you can't take that away from us. And I just like give it a little kiss on the back, like, and throw it at Ghostface Killer, and it just attacks. It's all beak, all claw. There's feathers everywhere. It is just violence, chicken violence.
Ghostface is like he's like swatting the chicken out of his way. He's using the knife, but it's not like the chicken is just dodging dodging the blade. Charleston's an amazing fighter. Meanwhile, Tom, do you still, as you're witnessing this, do you still want to do the tackle move, or?
I think what would happen is like, I think a man does what he can until his destiny is revealed, and then I just want to like grab him, trying to just like deck him in the face.
Oh, cool. Let's do a force
Yeah.
check.
Music's so
Hey, there we go.
Oh, perfect. You deck him. He stumbles back. Can you describe what happens when you deck him? Excuse me. bad GM.
Yeah, it's like me and the chicken are perfectly in sync. There's like one peck sends his head that way, and then I just like clock him in the chin the other way. He goes tumbling. He's rolling, and then like as he rolls down onto the ground, the chicken continues to attack him while he's like struggling to get away. And I'm like, now's our chance, and I just start sprinting.
Amazing. While that's happening, Hazel and Wyatt, what do you do? Let's start
I
with,
turn to
Wyatt.
Hazel and very quickly, like as I like usher to run out the door, I'm like, I always knew Tom Cruise was a chicken, but like in a good way, and then I run.
And you run away toward.
And I yell like,
I
"Someone
run
get the
with Wyatt.
motorcycle!"
I'm not going to get the motorcycle.
Amazing.
Or do we take the motorcycle?
I get on the motorcycle because
I jump
read all
on
about
behind you
them.
and I wrap my arms around your waist. I feel a flutter in my chest as my heart starts beating fast, and I say, "Hit it, Hazel! Let's go!"
I grab the clearly marked helmets on the side and I throw one on Wyatt's head and mine, and we go. It's heavy,
Yes,
but I
and-
can do it.
In what direction are you heading? Are you heading toward anywhere or
Towards
anything?
the library, of course.
Yes, girl, let's go. Okay, y'all take off on the y'all take off toward the library. You speed down. This is all while the chicken shit. This is all while the chicken shit is happening. Tom, I'm gonna do a little GME thing real quick, and I'm gonna say that we did too many moves. So while that was happening, that was when your punching was happening. And you start to sprint off. But just to add a little chaos into this, I'm going to say that you sprint off, but they've gone. So you're not exactly sure what direction that you're in. And you're hesitating. And Penny, what do you do during this moment of hesitation of Tom?
I am trying to get the bike and trying to like the dad's bike that we had modified, and I'm trying to like motion to Tom like, come on, not fighting, let's go.
Okay,
Great.
And I'll run. I'll sprint back, and I want to like with one fell like swing myself around the back onto the back of the motorcycle or on the back of the bike. I mean,
of the bike. Great.
You're gonna
So
make
both...
me bicycle?
Yeah, bicycle.
Okay.
You're both on the
let's
bicycle.
Go. Let's go.
You're about to take off, and are we heading toward the direction of the library, or where are we heading?
We are heading toward the direction of the library.
And you still have the chicken, yeah? You still have Charleston, or is Charleston...
Oh,
the
absolutely.
The chicken didn't make it,
great.
I think.
The chicken...
No, incorrect.
Charleston is there. Tom. Y'all start biking in the direction of the library. And as Penny and Tom, Penny, you're huffing at this bike. As you're going down toward the library, you both realize you didn't necessarily see what happened to Ghostface after you decked him or where he was. And as that thought strikes you both, from in front of you, right in front of you, turning a corner as if they took a back route, it is fully Ghostface on what is obvious to you is a different motorcycle. And Ghostface is barreling towards y'all on a motorcycle, going full speed.
All right, I already know what I do. So while the bike is being pedaled, I stand up on the back seat and I get ready to do a full back flip and land on the back seat of Ghostface's motorcycle. That's my plan.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's gonna
go in the other direction.
That's gonna be a move check.
Yeah.
Let's do a little move check.
I don't know if I have a reroll. I think I'm out.
Oh no.
The funniest thing to fail.
Yes.
Okay. That is it's a crit fail. It was a 1.
Yes.
Okay. I'll take this. You Penny, you're biking. You realize that you're biking toward this ghost face, you instantly swerve to try to get out of the way to pivot to go behind. And while that's happening, Tom jumps up. He jumps up, and it's sort of, for one like amazing moment, he like perfectly aligns with the moonlight in like perfect swimmer pose. He's perfectly aligned. He is about to hit he's about to get on the bike with Ghostface, but he overshot it, and he just lands smack face down on the concrete, right behind Ghostface's car.
And just like, you just hear me from the ground go,
Bike.
I do all my own stunts.
You shouldn't.
And let's say Tom, you're bleeding out of both nostrils, and you've lost like 3 teeth.
I just want to motion to come back around. Let's try it again.
Ghostface on his bike is still heading straight towards you, Penny, but you've managed to turn the opposite way. And now Ghostface on motorcycle, you on bike, fast in pursuit of each other. Ghostface brandishing his blade up, and Tom behind them, standing up, still getting his bearings, bleeding out of both nostrils, maybe holding a tooth in his palm. And then let's go over to what is for sure a more peaceful ride on a motorcycle. Let's check in with Hazel and Wyatt. As you barrel down, you're not aware of any of this.
I swear, that guy is just the absolute worst. Who doesn't follow proper motorcycle protocol? How do you not recognize your own keys? And breaking into a place of business? What a detective. Wyatt, you okay back there?
Yeah, you really know how to lean into the turns.
Oh yeah, motorcycles, they don't even have seatbelts. Just hold on tight. We're almost to the library.
Are you like really good at MotoGP or something?
You know, playing so many video games and watching so many different motorcycle anime, it just really seems to sink in. Feels really heavy though.
Yeah, that's why we gotta lean together.
Okay, just look for the signs and lean, all right? And don't throw up, all right?
I will both lean and rock with you, and you don't have to worry about me. I love the speed, baby.
Excellent. Ugh. Okay. I don't know where Penny is gonna go, but I specifically said library. I hope they heard that. We gotta go ahead and go on without them.
Yeah, we'll break into the library. They'll catch up.
As you're having this conversation, you're biking toward the library. It approaches, and you see it in the distance, or not in the distance, actually pretty close, right in front of you. You see outside the library, it's a cute little yellow 2-story building dotted with 4 cute circular windows. The lights are of course off. And those windows are on the 2nd story. The lights are, of course, off. And the only way in and out is through the big front wooden doors of the library. And, of course, as you're pulling up to it, you can see a cute little handmade sign written by the children that says, Slasher Town Library in crayon. Okay. What do we do here?
Shall we pull up? And I awkwardly get off of the bike. But I go, I park it, I make sure, does the gas look low? How's our tank
The gas,
looking?
I think your tank is because you're an expert at this, let's just go full into it. That didn't even cost gas somehow. You have a absolute full tank.
Perfect.
You're so good at biking.
Electric bike?
It's a hybrid, and somehow you even knew to switch it to electric before you went.
Okay, let me clarify. Were we on the motorcycle?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so I make sure we put our helmets back into place. I take the kickstand out, make sure it's leaning properly, and we get ready to go into the library. Okay, Wyatt, I'm going to check to make sure my keys work. If it doesn't, I need you to stand watch while I try to find a way in. Can you do that?
Whatever you need. Hey,
Okay.
that was awesome. And I throw her some low bones.
Oh,
Some what?
low bones.
Low bones is when you knuckle bump, but like you don't raise
Yeah.
your arm to do it. You just leave it at about waist height. You just give them a low bones.
I
That's a
am
thing?
actually well versed, and I do it back. Yeah,
Oh,
that's lit.
Okay.
Okay, so I want to go check and make sure my keys they still work. I know our librarian is super paranoid, and they change the locks like every month. I don't know why. Maybe they, just have a pass. But I go and check. Do my keys work?
You go to check, and your key does fit in the front door, so you got that out of the way. But you're right. The librarian. What's the librarian's name again?
Her name is Miss Peggy. She's really sweet, but she's very just nervous all the time, like a
Miss
shaking
Peggy.
chihuahua. Yes.
Miss Peggy, who's very nervous. Thank you. Let me just make a little note. Miss Peggy, because she is so nervous, she has instilled a lock that has it's an alphabet lock. So it's a lock that requires a word code on it.
is it a song?
And
Is it the whole alphabet song? That's crazy.
Feel free to try it, but there is a lock on the door to get in that is the numbers. There are numbers, the letters of the alphabet on it. You push them in. It's a push lock. You don't know how many.
Oh, it has all the letters of the alphabet on this lock.
Yeah.
Could I try to recall the word combination for this month as, a seasoned and veteran librarian assistant?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be a contact, right?
Let's try it. Let's go. All right. Boom.
Wow. You do know the number. What's the number or the word? What's the word?
This month's word, I'm going to say it's a 5-letter word. It's not very creative. It's literally just read. R-E-A, 5-letter word. Reads. R-E-A-T-S.
Reads.
Reads.
You try. This is true, Sylviana. You try the reads thing, and what happens? You succeeded this roll, so
Awesome. It makes this really kind of, like pretty tech forward noise, and you see like this green light pop open. It's really secure for a library, and
What's
it even
the
says
noise?
access granted, that type deal. Beep boop beep, access granted, boom, and then the lock is a little loud, but it's unlocked, and the alarm system is shut down, and the door slides open. Pretty thick
Great.
lock, actually. I'm starting to notice how locked down this place is.
Yeah, the doors swing open, revealing an extremely dark room. There are no lights in this library. Where the auto body shop had some lights, this place has got absolutely none. And let's check back in with Penny and Tom. Penny, you're biking. Ghostface on the motorcycle behind you. Tom, you're there. I'm going to say the action, Penny, it's going to fall to you really quick because you're in pursuit. Ghostface just hot on your tail. He's still like a ways away. I think you caught him pretty early. So what are we doing here?
Okay, so I'm biking away from Tom, right? Like he's behind me.
Yes.
And then
yeah, it's
Ghostface
in order.
Killer's
It's
in
Tom.
between us, right?
And I'm for
Yes.
sure sprinting after you as fast as I can.
Amazing.
Right. Okay, so then the order goes from behind to front. It's Tom, Ghostface Killer, and then me.
No, it's you, Ghostface Killer, and then Tom, who's he's
Okay.
trying to catch up to the motorcycle.
Got it. Okay. I am going to put Charleston like into the his little safety fanny pack, and I'm gonna actually whip the bike around, but I'm gonna just like try to get close and go head on to Ghostface Killer.
Whoa!
And,
okay.
Nice.
And as I get close enough to him, I'm gonna try and whip my keychain at him, throw it in his face, and because I'm gonna try to go behind him and like scoop up Tom, and like throw him on my bike.
Fun.
I don't know what role this is, so you let me know.
I feel like there's like six potential things you can do. So you're saying you are, I just want to make sure that I'm clear. You're whipping around, you are tossing the keychain. Your plan is to toss your keychain toward Ghostface to like cause some form of distraction to get around him and whip up Tom on your little bike.
Yes.
Yes. Great.
So I'm gonna whip it at him, and that way I can kind of like go on the opposite side of the road, just like Akira.
So you're whipping,
See?
like you're not throwing the keychain. You're like whipping. It's like a mace in a way.
It's the
or
anime
you're,
reference.
No,
you're physically
I'm-
throwing it.
Yeah, I'm whipping it around, and then I'm gonna throw it at him. I want to
Okay,
get
amazing.
some momentum. I think that's how throwing things work.
Yeah. Totally. I love that. I'll give you a successful turn. Just because this is epic and not what I like, so bold. I'm gonna give you the turn to face him, but let's have you roll a force for how hard the keychain flies at him.
All right, that's 3 body, 3 force. So let's roll 60.
Nice.
Yes! Critical success. What happens when you toss the keychain?
So as I whip around, I'm trying to go on the edge of the road to give myself as much time as possible. I am standing up on the bike to try and give myself as much momentum. With my one arm, I'm whipping my keychain, holding on to my Hello Kitty, but also not Hello Kitty, off-brand keychain, and then I just throw it at Ghostface, and I just keep barreling down, and I'm just like, Tom, get on the bike.
And then
Yes. And what? Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No. What happens when the keychain? Does the keychain? I'm assuming it makes impact with Ghostface because you threw it.
Yes, it hits him right in the face. I ideally would hit it so hard that he's just knocked off the bike. I mean, she's a cheerleader, and cheerleading is a sport. So
Yeah.
she's got muscles.
I'm gonna hybrid it with you because I love that. I'm gonna say while that's happening, you hit Ghostface in the face. It doesn't fling him off the bike, but he does he does swerve the bike enough that the bike and him collapse to the ground and slide as you go. And Tom, what were you doing during this?
I was going to say, even though I definitely have time to just stop and get on the bike, I'd like to spring off of Ghostface's body and backflip onto the back of the bike for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get a redemption. Let's get a redemption move check for you.
Okay. Yeah, there's no 6s there.
Oh my god.
You go to sprint off or do this jump off of Ghostface.
Yes.
Penny, you are now you pass him. He's going so fast. You actually get a sense of the speed that he actually moves at by going across, the physics thing, by going across him. So he is like a blur,
I'm like
like
slow
a
motion,
shadow.
like, what?
He runs. He's about to jump onto Ghostface, but y'all, Ghostface, she's a clumsy girl, but she gets right back up, and so Ghostface immediately gets up, and Tom, I'm gonna have you both collide straight into each other, almost Scooby-Doo style, and fall right to the ground.
Gah! A miscalculation.
Stop doing your own stunts! And Penny is like trying to like turn around again.
Yeah, and now Ghostface, I'm gonna say Ghostface like staggers back, looks at you, and then picks up his knife. Tom, what are we doing?
I'm just gonna make a beeline for the bike and as best I can, and just try and hop on the back, like a normal
So
hop onto the
you're
back.
now you're leaving. You're turning around from Ghostface.
Oh yeah, I've given up on being the aggressor. Yeah.
Penny, what were you doing?
I was like turning around again to pick him up. So I just do the sharpest U-turn that a human has ever done on a modified dad bike with the chicken in the front.
I'm gonna give Charleston like stretches out his wings so that for a moment your bike looks like a plane, and you it's just perfect. Like maybe even the wheels lift off the ground just like a little bit for the pivot, thanks to Charleston and all of his strength. Yeah, it's full Tokyo drifting. XXMD.
Yes.
And Tom, I'm so nervous to make you roll again. You just hop, and it was a normal one. You weren't stunting it. You hop on the bike, and you pedal off just as you see a sort of disgruntled Ghostface, as you turn behind, sort of like hoisting their motorcycle up on the street. Oh, my headphone. And wow, that was scary. And while that happens, let's go to Wyatt and Hazel. You've opened the door of this library. Oh wow, B. Winfrey, that was a bingo. Wow, that hasn't been a thing in a long time since we started using new headphones, but there was headphone problems for like 6 months. Hazel and Wyatt, you're looking into what is essentially a black void that is the library. But Hazel, because you know the library so well, I'll say your memory in the heat of the moment, the adrenaline, your memory's a little scattered. But you do know what the first aisle of books is. And what is that aisle called?
The first aisle is the in-depth history of the Italian Renaissance, and it covers quite a few artists, and I can't quite recall the names because I can't pronounce them very well, but if you really want to dive into the Baroque period, it's very nice. Definitely not useful to us right now, though.
You never know.
Never know. Would I not know where maybe a flashlight or the lights are?
I think while we walk and stumble into the dark, you see Wyatt pull like a couple lifesavers out of his pocket, and he's trying to like bite them to illuminate the area around us before he remembers cell phones exist and LEDs.
Yes.
Flashes on cell phones.
You pulled out your... Yes.
Let's do a Chelsea. Excuse me. I don't know who Chelsea is. Hazel. Let's
Who's
do
that?
a let's do a let's do a where is it? Let's do a contact check for you.
Okay. I'm gonna
And
do
because
it.
this is a library, let's do a +1.
Okay. I'm gonna do it. This is not terrifying at all. Ooh! Yes!
Yes. Okay, cool. Where you know exactly where the light switch is. Where is the light switch?
Right behind the desk. I can easily just climb under it. It has that kind of flip top to let all the employees behind it. So it's right behind the desk next to the computer.
Great. Okay, so because this is a contact check, you're not doing it yet. You just have the knowledge of that.
Okay.
Great. It's behind the desk. Okay. And are we heading there?
I'll tell Wyatt, just follow me close. And it's funny, my mom has I have a cell phone, but it's like the cheap, like Nokia phone, and it doesn't have a light on the front.
Yeah, for sure. It's a thing in the lore of Slasher Town that it's bad signal, so I don't think iPhones are really part of the budget.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Also, cell phones sort of killed the American play, but that's we're going to go into that at another day. Yeah. Anyway, so y'all are walking in the dark. You're approaching this desk where Hazel, of course, you know where it is. When you hear something from behind the desk, you hear a
I reach out to Wyatt. I just kind of grab his shirt if I can. And I look back at him and I say, "Shh. Someone's in here. They're sleeping." Okay.
Are you sure it's not Dewey,
usually
the library cat?
I would love that.
As soon as Wyatt says that, you hear in the corner, you hear, "Wow." And it's definitely not the library cat, though Dewey the library cat is there. Hazel, I'm going to give it to you because you so beautifully described it. This is absolutely, you recognize it from the store. This is, oh right, I'm sorry, you're right, B. Winfrey. It doesn't say meow, it says cat. From the corner.
Look at what I've done to your universe, Brandon.
Cat. Hazel, you recognize it as the soft, loud, thunderous snores of Miss Peggy.
Soft, loud, and thunderous.
Librarian. Soft, loud, thunderous. You can be soft and loud.
Yes.
What do we want to do?
Okay, so I think I get why she locks the place down so tight. You stay right here. I'm gonna just turn on the back floor lights, okay? So it doesn't disturb her sleep. You stay right here. So I'm just gonna try to sneak up and use the faint. I don't even think my Nokia has a front light.
I hand you 3 lifesavers.
Thanks for the lifesavers. Thank you. I take them. I want to sneak up and try to turn on the floor lights. If possible.
Yeah, I mean, you said the word, so we got to roll a sneak check, yeah?
Here we go. Oh, at least I'm okay at sneaking. All right. Here we do it. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. Please. Yes!
Yes!
Oh, God.
You sneak, you turn on the lights, and for this success, because describing how a light turns on isn't the most fun thing to get for success, let's have you describe the interior of the library.
I will.
As the lights flutter on.
Yeah, as I sneak in, turn the lights on, you see these very nice, austere, black bookshelves. And if you look, you kind of wonder how the books stand up. It's because it has this clear acrylic bookshelf in the back. So you can look at the books from all angles, no matter which aisle you're on. And I thought that was actually pretty ingenious design. I'm very impressed with Miss Peggy's choice. But each aisle has 6 of these floor lights that light up each aisle in a very nice dim, light. So it's not harsh on the eyes, because we do nighttime book clubs like every month. It's really cool. So
I
yeah,
love this library. The only thing I'm going to add is that sleeping in a chair at the front desk with a ring of keys around her neck is Miss Peggy. Deep in her slumber, she's very nervous, which to me is like periwinkle petticoat, and with like nap dress, and maybe 2 pigtails that are like that go into a braid behind her back. This is a weird. I went a little weird. The 2 pigtails that go into a braid down her back, and like a little pin that has like a little pride flag on it, and then another pin that has reading is what fundamental, but it's really little, and she is just leaning back on her chair, deep in what can only be probably described as the most gay of dreams, and she is just like, and with her belly the keys do a soft little jingle. They go like,
I'm sure we're gonna need that later. I'll just wait until we have to find out. I say this in my head. So I sneak back. I sneak back to Wyatt and I say, okay, we have to find the pram accords. We gotta start looking.
Didn't he say they were in the restricted section?
Oh, I forgot. You're right. That's what
You
we
hear his
probably
voice
need
through
the keys
you.
for.
The pram accords in the restricted section.
Ugh, great.
We're
We're gonna need those keys. We're really gonna need those keys. Hey,
Okay.
Wyatt,
where is the restricted section? Because I know comic books are at that end of the library. So I figure restricted's like the full opposite side.
Are there
You
basements
see
in Slasher Town? Oh, go ahead.
There are basements, but there's actually a little sign by the stairwell. It says Italian Renaissance, 19th century or 17th century Italian Renaissance books are behind you. That's the first thing it says, and then underneath it says other books to your left and right, and then underneath that it says restricted section upstairs, also comic books upstairs.
Nice. Where the nerds propagate. In comics and in propaganda. Wonderful. I turn to Wyatt and I say, Are you good? Do you have steady hands? Do you think you could get that off of Miss Peggy? The necklace. We need those keys.
I don't know, maybe. And then I'll walk over and try to do it.
I was trying to get a beat on your stats.
No, we'll go grab the keys before we go.
You're going to grab the keys first? So you're just going to go grab the keys straight off her?
We're going to try to do
it seems like we might need them.
Stealthily. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, Wyatt, are you attempting stealth or no?
I was asking if you were stealthy without asking.
And how I stealth is like I say, okay, yeah, I'll go try it. And I just put my hand on the counter and push and I slide away because I'm standing on my skateboard.
Oh God.
If ever I am inside and there is no adult to tell me not to, I will be skateboarding.
Amazing. That's great. Let me write that down in my notes. Can you do a sneak check to grab the keys, Wyatt?
God, there's nothing I'd like more.
I don't
know what that is. I don't know if that's good. Hey, that's a success.
Hey.
Yes. Amazing.
Sleeping, nervous Miss Peggy.
Nice.
She is sleeping. And how do you get these keys? How do you get these keys off of her?
Oh, it's a full. So I'm sliding over. I make it up to her, and I just like lean in on the side of my board, making like just a perfect loop around her. As I do, I like spin her chair with me. I pull the keys off and then like glide her back into place as I never stop moving all the way back over to Hazel. And then I just like I have my hands closed around them so they're not jingling, but I spread them apart like a fan of mud, and then I just like a fan at myself, like I got him.
I had a small heart attack, but that was really good.
I love that.
I wish for this.
Beautiful.
Great.
And
Good job.
And as you're fanning those keys, you hear Peggy deep in the bowels of her slumber. You hear her just delicately whisper, the Diving Bell is the best bar because it's the Sylvia Plath bar. Would you like to go on a date there? And she's like full talking in her sleep. I said it was the gayest dream that's ever been dreamt. And then let's move back to Penny and Tom. You're on the bike, biking away. And what are we discussing here? Where are we heading toward?
And anyways, that's why Minority Report is also incorrect in how it portrayed the possibility of seeing into the future. I feel like you really need to pick projects that have a better understanding about time travel, also precognition.
Listen, you don't get it. They were special. They had powers, okay?
Yeah, whatever. This wasn't even a good surgery scene. I have so many thoughts on how unrealistic this is.
No, they were born that way. It can happen. I mean, what's not to get?
And she is biking into the closest neighborhood around because Penny has realized that she is never going to outrun Ghostface Killer. But because it is under a curfew, if she makes a loud enough of a sound or a scene, people will come out and they will be less likely to be murdered. And so she tells Tom Cruise the plan. Just like, okay, listen, nearby there's like a neighborhood. And I'm going to need you to make the loudest ruckus that has ever been known to man. You need to you know what? Why don't you reenact the entire plot of Scream 6?
Are you?
As she's just biking furiously.
Are you asking me to distract Ghostface Killer by bringing the ruckus?
No, I'm asking you to make a loud enough ruckus so our neighbors can come out because you're not going to distract Ghostface Killer, but you can distract America with your acting talent.
Listen, I can't protect you. That's why I need you to leave. Go.
What?
Go.
What?
I want to like get off the. I like do a roll off of the bike.
No, Tom, you're gonna die. No, get back on the bike. Charles and I need you.
Yells, show me the money.
So you were just now. You jumped off and you just fully started yelling, "Show me the money."
Yes, correct.
Let's do a. I almost want to make the whole town do a comprehend check. I'm gonna roll a comprehend check I'm gonna roll a comprehend check. And I'm gonna say town has a D4. Did my roll work? Did it roll? I don't have the ability to roll. Oh,
You need to roll 1d4.
no, wait. I'm trying to roll.
Can't get a 6 with
roll,
D4.
Roll 4d6. This is for the town. Oh, here we go.
Oh,
Yes. Okay, great. The town. I didn't mean a D4. I meant I'm gonna roll a 4d6. Excuse my novice brain. All right. While all of the lights immediately turn on in the town, in this little suburban street after saying "Show me the money," and you just hear like instant whispering of people getting up. You just hear people being like,
Yes.
I love that movie. Oh my, is that Tom Cruise? Oh my God.
I'm Nathan Galdry. That's my name. Get it right.
And, like Jerry Maguire, and doors start opening. People start instantly. It instantly works. Penny and Tom, what are you gonna do?
There is a murderer out here.
Oh, you're talking. Okay, people in town. Is that Tom
Everyone,
Cruise?
get your pitchforks and your torches or whatever it is, because we're gonna hunt this guy down.
Can you do a charm?
Penny has
Who's
realized
with
that
me?
Tom Cruise
Who's coming
has
with
lost
me?
her mind,
Check.
so she's just.
Tom,
Yes.
can you do a lead check?
I'm yelling at. I want to yell at like, who's coming with me? Yeah. Lead check.
Yeah, Tom. Yeah.
Okay, let me see where my lead is. Okay, that's pretty good.
Oh God.
Nice.
The first man out the door that heard that, he just immediately turns back into his house and he's like, "Honey, grab the pitchfork." He's also Southern. And then you just hear everybody suddenly in the houses. You hear all the townspeople saying, "Tom wants us to grab a pitchfork. Tom wants us to grab our pitchforks." And you just, Penny, you hear the clattering of just what can only be described as like kitchen objects being turned into weapons, and duct tape and all of that just filtering from all of these people who they haven't seen you
That is
because
what
they're
I'm
so
talking
focused
about.
on Tom.
Yes.
What do you do?
Yes. Penny is the ultimate hype man for Tom Cruise right now because she needs as many people to come out of their house as possible. So she's like, "This is Tom Cruise!" And Charleston, by the way, is on her shoulder and also squawking very loudly. Like, "This is the man who hit the outsiders, okay? Endless love, a few good men. You know, you need to put some respect in your name when you say the words Tom Cruise!" And she's screaming as loud as possible, and the chicken is joining in.
Oh wow, the outsiders, absolutely. People start flooding out of their homes. People start flooding out of their homes. Pitchforks. What are some other weapons that people are carrying, Penny and Tom? Even Wyatt and Hazel, you could, even though you're not there, you could join in for weapons that people are holding.
There's some people that just like all they could find was like a fire poker. There's some people they got like the pots and pans armor going on, you know, like with the like shoulder blades and stuff. And a few people, all they have are ping pong paddles, but they're like gung ho anyway. They're ready to just like use them.
Yes. Anybody else want to contribute?
A lot of people have really fancy knives because this is a resort town. So a bunch of people just pull out their like shun Japanese knife in both hands, and they're just coming out. We're talking cleavers. We're talking like the knife that cuts the bread. I forgot it's serrated edge. Like, we're just talking so many knives of every sort.
And I do want to add that there is the one guy that had, like, he's like the conspiracy theorist. He's got the bomb shelter at the end of the street. He straight up walks out with a rocket launcher.
Oh my god, absolutely. Yeah. There is a man in camo holding a can of beans and a rocket launcher, and he's like, "Evil dies tonight." Oh, evil dies tonight. He's doing the Halloween Kills. He's also doing the chant from Halloween Kills. And he's like, "Evil dies tonight." And as that's happening, Ghostface on his motorcycle starts like coming direct towards, sees the angry mob, immediately turns and starts biking in the opposite direction away from y'all. And that angry mob just instantly starts like running after him, shun knives, rocket launcher. The guy has not fired the rocket launcher yet. He does know maybe that's a last resort moment. Yeah, and there's only one. There's only one rocket. Exactly.
He can only fire it once, and he doesn't want to mess it up.
Exactly. And they sort of like, Tom, you've riled them so well that they're not even like, they've sort of stopped paying attention to you and your fame, and they're now like zeroed in on the mission that you've sent them on. They're like a storm chasing after Ghostface, running and running. And then y'all, before you know it, it's just you two on the street and a ton of empty homes.
That was amazing. So wait,
yeah, it was.
We took care of the problem,
property, right? Where when people come together, they really are so much stronger as a fist than an individual finger. But now we're in an empty street with an empty home, so let's go to the library.
Great.
That makes sense to me. Let's go.
Get
And
on the bike.
Y'all head off toward the library. Let's take it back to Hazel and Wyatt. Hazel and Wyatt, I'm gonna just move y'all up the stairs. We are now at the classified or the restricted section of this library. Shall we open the door?
Wyatt, you got the key? Do the honors. I'll point out the key to which one it is, though, just to help him out.
Thanks. That was going to take me a lot longer than you'd expect, because I'd probably try it first, but it wouldn't work, and then I'd come back to it at the end, like when you put in a USB. I'll just do it now.
I'm not gonna set you up, I promise.
And Wyatt, can you, since you found the key, can you describe the door of the restricted section?
Oh man, I want to say unnecessarily ominous, like heavy oak, carved, maybe like faint reliefs that in the right light look like a skull. Just a really like overbearing and brooding and dark door, just to clearly indicate like, don't go in here.
Miss Peggy was really
Amazing.
strange when it came to the. Yeah, I'm starting to see that now.
The only thing I will add is that there's also like a little pride sticker on the classified. It's like all ominous and terrifying, and then there's just one cute little pride sticker.
Yeah, the keys are almost impossible to discern because they're all like different pride flags.
That's actually beautiful. Like,
It's very beautiful. You open the door. It opens with a loud creak. It makes a very loud like.
Dewey?
No, and then you hear very faintly in the back. You hear cat. And and it's a long dark hallway, a la sort of like classic restricted sections that you look at, and there's a singular light bulb standing, like a freestanding singular light bulb that is illuminating this. It's metal. It's like metal rows. It's like they're not the nice shelves that Hazel was describing earlier. They're like thin metal. They're like that classic sort of like this was sort of hacked together. It almost looks like a where they keep evidence in like a government jail or precinct. That was the word I was looking for. And there's like brown boxes stacked up on every side. They're all labeled with a different number. And way up at the top, because in the light, I'm just going to give you that you can see this. Way up at the top, you see a letter P on a brown like box of a la box of evidence. You see a brown P.
why, I think that's it. Let's go. Before Dewey starts getting any louder. So we walk in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
You're
we
in.
walk in.
I'm saying with the door opening, you're in. You're in. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. Wyatt. So it's really high up, right? Like we probably have to.
It's out. It's you cannot reach it. Yeah.
Do I think if I stand on Wyatt's back or on his shoulders, that will work?
Totally. That could totally work.
I've never been back here. I've never had the need to come back here. So I look at Wyatt and I say, okay, we're going to have to do this carefully. I'm not known for my physical prowess, but I'm sure you can keep me steady. If you lift me up there, I can reach the box.
Okay, whatever you need.
Right.
And I will do my best to lift them up. And if I get them up on like, if I can hold them up, great. If she needs to like stand on the shelves to like reach up, then I'll kind of support in case she falls.
Yeah. I'm gonna do a weird roll for this one.
Good.
But I'm gonna give you a calculate check, because calculate is knowing how something works. So I want you to know how like hoisting a human body works, Wyatt. So you're gonna do a calculate check as the base. Also, in classical dance, the bass doesn't really get a lot of props, so I just want to say, basses, you're seen and you're heard. You don't do a lot of the beautiful work, but you are important to the structure of the thing.
You do that.
What you know about
Did you
3
leave?
6s? What you know about 3 6s?
Oh, what you know about 3 6s? Whoa! Wow, 666.
Yes!
That's a critical success and also straight to hell. Can you describe this just incredible hoist?
I'm tempted to go cartoony, but I will keep us in the world of realism that we have existed this entire game. And
Yeah, come on.
Professional.
So I just put my hand out like I've seen some cheerleaders do before. Like she steps on and then I like push up, but I do almost a clean where I drop my body down, switch my hands, and then push just up over my head. You got it? You got it? You close?
I feel like strangely poised. Like this is the most like intense maneuver I've ever done. So I'm just kind of like, yeah, I got it. I just wanted to add there are like feathers, like some feathers kind of floof out when he does this.
I love it. Yeah, no, it's a 3-6. This is a 3-6 roll. This is your success too, Hazel. You go for your description as well.
I feel like I'm standing on the most level foundation I've ever stood on, and I reach out and I grab this box with the P on it, and I say, I got it.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, turn out, and then I spin her and catch her.
I do like a gymnastics like a full 360, and I land. like
nice
you
form.
grab me by my waist, and then you put me down. That would be great.
I love this so much. You open up the lid of the pram case, or of the P box, and you sift through the files. What are some non-pram case files that you find in there that begin with the letter P that are little articles about the town?
There's a parm case of
Yes.
just like a whole truck full of Parmesan cheese that had some mold in it, and it was sold as blue cheese. But it made everybody sick for like 2 weeks.
Now, signed at the bottom, you see, apparently Miss Peggy had something to do with this. There's like a warrant for her arrest. I don't know how, but it's just a strange thing that you see. Miss Peggy is the Parm case perpetrator. Got clear of it though.
Oh God! There's also a little pride flag taped on that case too.
Somehow she beat all the charges. Oh,
and then
the cheesy
behind
charges. Yikes.
behind those two, you both. I'm gonna give this to both of you at the same time. You both happen to land. Both of your little fingers. They bump together, and they both land at the same time on the pram case. But just as your fingers touch that, both of you sniff for a second. You like do an inhale of like we just found it, and a smell catches your nose. Can you both do a comprehend check for me?
Yes. Actually have a lot for this.
I'm glad one of us does.
Let's see. It can all be ones. Let's see how it goes.
2
Yay.
6s.
That
Yes.
is a lot of dice.
I really
This-
wanted to comprehend.
Oh, a fail. Okay, Wyatt, you have COVID. You can't smell. No, I'm kidding. We're not doing that.
Don't do it to me.
I'm not. I'm kidding. Wyatt, you take it a smell and okay, your crit fail is I'm sorry. Your crit fail is you fart. You fully just absolutely fart. And it's a bad one, and you're in like a little room. So it's really bad, and because it's a crit fail, I'm gonna say it's so bad that you fart and you immediately throw up on all of the other files. But luckily the pram case is good. It's what I like to call a fart and bomb. You know, it's an instant
Classic.
fart and bomb all over over everything.
Every dog has experienced it, and so has Wyatt.
Look, when it's your own brand and it's that bad, you know it's bad.
Totally.
Oh my
I
god!
know,
I
know.
put a spelling in the chat.
Oh,
Fart and bomb.
What? Oh, Wyatt.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I can't. Once I start, you should give me a little space and don't breathe anymore. Give me a little space and don't breathe. Oh my god. And then I like pull over the box and just fully I fill that thing up.
I try to snatch the case out of there before he does.
Yeah, you totally do. But you succeeded your roll, Hazel, and so you smell something. You smell something instantly.
Other than the fart.
It is a you smell through the fart. It's like, you know how like Chekhov is like
Right.
3 tiers? You're like through fart. And that is
Thanks.
and what you smell, it can be whatever you want it to be, but it
Please
has
put
to
me
be
out of my
something-
misery.
It has to be a smoky flavor that you smell.
Oh,
What is the smoky flavor that you smell?
flavor, huh? Like, is it?
Or
does it
smoke?
have
What
to
is the
have
smoky scent that you smell?
smell,
It's just a
okay,
smoky
okay.
scent. Yeah.
Got it. Kind of like if my dad. Well, no, if my mom had put something on a pit, and it smells like some oak wood or something like that. Kind of like I was getting some barbecue. Yeah, that's a good one.
Amazing.
I like that.
And as you smell that, you look up to see on the other side of this doorway, Ghostface pouring out gasoline onto the bottom of the thing and holding a smoking piece of barbecue, a lit barbecue shish kebab that is on fire. And Ghostface drops it, instantly lighting the room right outside of the restricted section, fully ablaze. And as that happens, the door to the restricted section closes, and you hear a quick click of a lock of the door locking from the inside, or from the outside, locking you in.
Howlett, I'm sick of you. That was-
And the farting nights, and Howlett, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take that, and like as that lights up, just like the air around you, just sort of like quickly, and then like the fart smell is sort of replaced with sulfur.
We have to duck to avoid Wyatt's gas. Great.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I was
man.
looking for chicken alternatives.
But there's now the fire doesn't catch in the room, but the fire, you know, has certainly caught outside of this room, and smoke is beginning, not heavy yet, but just light smoke is beginning to come in through the door.
Oh no, Miss Peggy. Did they walk by Miss Peggy? Maybe she'll turn on the fire alarm. The door is locked, right?
The door is locked.
I do take like a jacket or something and wrap it around my hand and try the doorknob, and it is locked. Okay.
It is
How are
absolutely
we gonna
locked.
get out of here?
I've got a really bad idea.
And
Nothing's
on
worse
that,
than
on
that
his really
gas.
bad idea, on his really bad idea, we're gonna flip over to Tom and Penny. You are you're biking. Are you bike? How are we traveling to this library? What are we doing?
Yeah, we're on the bike.
We're biking, but I'm making Tom Cruise bike, and I'm
Yeah, there we
standing
go.
behind him because my legs are tired now. And he is biking with the
And it's-
fury of 1,000 suns.
It's weird though because I'm not even using the pedals because I know they just hold me back. I'm actually just like running, but on the bike, like taking these big strides.
You were running on this bike, and as the library comes clear to you in sight, suddenly fire from all 3 of the circular windows of the library. The glass completely shatters, and you see that this library is on fire.
I'm just like, I know what to do, and I want to like skid the bike to a stop out front. I'm just like, if I don't come out in 5 minutes, call the fire department. And I just start sprinting toward the door at full speed.
I'm already calling the fire department. Okay, I just can't get a signal here. And Penny is just sitting there, just like watching as Tom Cruise runs in this building, being like, I'm not going to stand out here. Charleston, stay here. And she's going to run after him.
Great. The two of you run toward the library door. There's still that little sign on it, but the door to the library is closed. And as you get there, you see a lock with not a number, a letter lock on the door, now locked with the door closed. A little picture of the that like in crayon that says "Welcome to the library," written by kids with like little drawings on it.
Tom Cruise, I didn't even stop running. I just like put my jacket up to block the flames a little bit, and I just want to try and crash through the door.
Oh, cool. Let's do a force.
Nice.
Yes. Okay, describe the success.
So obviously the fire has made the door a bit brittle. So I just go crashing through the door with my jacket pulled up. I do a roll, and like somehow as I'm coming out of the roll, my jacket, which has caught fire a little bit from going through the burning door, I just like roll out of it, and now I'm just like in like my normal just like shirt as well. And then I'm just looking around to try and see the source of the fire and if there's a way to put it out.
So what becomes instantly clear to you from that success through, you see like the fire is only so far on the second story, but the second story is firing is firing quite a bit, is very much ablaze. Yet still sleeping at a desk is this woman in a petticoat and with massive braids and pins, and she is snoring quite loudly. You can hear it over the fire. And also as you get through, the cat runs straight out of the door and and toward the street, passing you, Penny. Penny, what do you do?
I look at the cat for a second and go, do not touch Charleston. And I run towards Miss Peggy and try to shake her awake.
Oh yes, so you run straight past Tom, you shake her awake, and Miss Peggy wakes up with a Agatha Christie, and then she's like, hi, sorry, what, who are you?
I just say, where is your fire extinguisher?
Upstairs.
I immediately start running towards upstairs. Toward the flames.
I stay and I ask her, is there a sprinkler system? Because this is a library, which means that someone must have thought about something flammable.
Yeah, there is. And she turns to like her desk where there's a switch. This doesn't make sense, but there's a switch that says fire. Oh no, let me change this. She's like, oh yes, there's a smoke alarm. And she points up and you see instantly that all of the smoke alarms have been disabled. They're just like hanging empty on a thread.
Wow.
Is it possible for me to stand on the desk and rewire the smoke detector?
You know what? You're gonna have to get Peggy would have to help hoist you. I think it is possible, but she will have to help you.
Okay. I'm guessing that's going to be a tech roll.
Yeah, that's going to be a, what do we do? Calculate? Yeah, it's a calculate roll.
Okay. I only have a 5, and I don't have anything at that one. So.
Yes. Oh,
nice.
What do you need me to do? Wait, you need me to do what?
I need you. Lift me up with your beautiful hands. Let's go.
Great.
Just like cheerleading.
How does she lift you?
So Annie says, listen to me. Imagine that I am Lilith Fair tickets, okay? And you need to hold me up as high as possible.
I love Lilith Fair.
And absolutely. Now give me your hands, and she's gonna do this, like, she's gonna do a perfect cheer formation. And I think between the two of them, it's high enough to reach the ceiling. and she's going to she's gonna just like spark the like red wire to the red wire and have it so that like the battery and the currents run everything through, and so it is a perfectly working smoke alarm, which hopefully sets off the sprinkler.
Okay. So instantly, just adding to the sound, instantly all of the alarms start blaring so now we have the sound of the fire, we no longer have the snoring, and we have this just like intense alarm blaring through this library. As Tom, you've bounded up the stairs.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
So my goal is to get the sprinklers working. So I want to get close enough to a sprinkler with a lighter and just pull the lighter up to the sprinkler so that they start sprinkling on everything.
Great. Even though
The
it's
flames haven't
fully
gotten there
burning
yet.
up there.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
True. Okay. True. For that, let's do a this. I'm gonna make this a move check to see how you can get yourself up close enough to the sprinkler.
Okay. Oh, that's bad.
You jump onto a shelf to try to get to the sprinkler, but just as you hop onto the shelf, the fire's screwed up the bottom of this shelf already, and you just plummet straight down, but it lands sort of like on top of it, so you don't like fall into burning flames. You fall onto the whole shelf, falls down onto a fire with the flames burning, and then inside this room, inside of the restricted section room, you hear the sound of a massive shelf falling, and you hear the scream of someone. A voice. What are we doing, our restricted section friends?
Oh, we're screaming! Help! Help!
Wait, do you remember that part in Scream 6 where Nathan Galdry was trying to escape from the burning fire station, where he took the ladder and smashed it through the door? We don't have a ladder, but we've got these bookshelves.
Movie, but
well,
please,
I have it. It was what gave me the idea. Let's take one of these bookshelves and smash it through this door. Come on, give me a hand.
Okay.
And also plug your nose. I'm so sorry. I threw up right next to you.
We try. I'm going to try to help Wyatt as best I can.
Ram through the door?
Yeah. We'll take a
bookshelf? I want to take one of the bookshelves and smash it down like through the door.
Like push it? Yeah.
Let's do a force check for Wyatt, because it was your idea, and let's add 1 for the shelf.
Okay.
Nice.
Yes!
Very nice.
Description, please.
I think we're starting to pull it, but I'm sort of struggling. So Hazel sees puts it together where the like fulcrum of the balance is, climbs up in between the two of them, sticks her feet up and starts to like use her legs and push them apart, and sort of walks it back down as it falls through. So it was my idea, but her success.
Aw.
Yes.
So nice.
I love that. The door flies. Yeah. Wait, you want to keep going?
No. I wanted to. The door's opening. That was the goal. Keep it going.
Yes, the door's open, and instantly you see on top of the bookshelf that is on the ground, the fallen bookshelf, in the flames, you see Tom himself.
You.
Guys, help me up.
Is he stuck? Is he stuck?
My back hurts really bad.
Ugh. Okay.
His nose
Wyatt,
is he on fire?
To like have one of them help me up.
Please. Wyatt, can you please help him up?
Yeah, of course. We should also get out of this burning place, and then I'll go over and I'll try to help a fallen tooth. Like, I almost don't recognize him without his teeth and his busted nose and his almost on fire ass, but I will help Timothy Cruz.
I'm gonna give y'all you pick Timothy Cruz right up. And Penny, let's go to you. You are on the shoulders of, or not shoulders. Peggy is holding you up in a base stance. You've just set off the alarm, and I'm gonna give it to you. We're gonna save some books tonight, and instantly the sprinkler system starts turning on. Now the place is filling up with smoke, though. It's becoming hard to see. And as the sprinklers begin to click on, you hear the sound of Tom Cruise being hoisted up by friends and the big relief from Tom Cruise. How does that sound?
Yes! Thank you!
What do you want to do, Penny? Peggy puts you down and she's like, that was amazing!
I'm gonna realize that I probably can't help Tom, and so I'm gonna try to get Miss Peggy out and make sure that she's okay, because like smoke can kill you as well as fire. So I'm gonna
Yes.
take her out and be like, "Thank you so much. You saved the library today. Where's your cat? Let's go."
I did. Oh, where's my cat? Cat. And y'all usher each other out the door. Meanwhile, upstairs on that floor, you've hoisted Tom up. What's going on? How we doing?
Come on, let's go. We gotta get
Guys,
down
we
the
gotta get out of
stairs.
here.
You hush,
real
you're being
smoky.
carried. Ugh. Let's go, Wyatt. So I try to guide them down the stairs, if that's still possible.
Absolutely. You start guiding them towards the stairs. You get to the foot of the stairs. Everything burning behind you. The sprinkler's on, though, so the fire beginning to die, but still it's gonna take a while. The sprinkler system's gonna take a while. Smoke is filling everywhere, and Tom, you take one look back at the successes of today at this burning library, and you see, hunched in the corner of the third window, hunched in front of the third window, which is the window that's furthest from you, still surrounded by flames, you see what looks like it could potentially be a little girl in a ball in a black gown, just like you remember from Scream 6.
And I know that I, just like my character, I can't let her perish, so I start sprinting up there to try and save her.
And how are you gonna save her?
I just want to try and pick her up over my shoulder and then run her out of the building. Yeah.
Great. When you run her out of the building, do you want to go double back through the stairs, or do you want to go through the window? How are we getting out of this building?
Oh, I think we're diving right through that window. Yeah.
Amazing. Can we do I'm so terrified to make you do a move check again. Do you have
It's a good
anything
stat
to
for
spend?
me. I should be
Gotta
able to
do it.
move.
Let's do a final move check for you tonight. Let's do a move check.
Yes! That is what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Ooh.
Can you describe how you get this presumably this little girl out through the window?
Yeah, so I swing her over my shoulder. I'm just like, hold on. And I just want to open up the window and look and try and see a good spot to jump to, and pure perfect parkour skill. I do a Kong out the window, and then I catch onto a tree branch and I slide down, slowing my momentum and then dropping to the ground. And then I let her off my back.
Amazing. Beautiful.
Yeah.
You let her off your back, and she looks straight at you, and she's a little taller than you thought she was gonna be. In fact, she's not a little girl at all. She is fully Ghostface.
I knew it.
And she picks up her knife, or his knife, or their knife, raises it above their head, and I'm gonna give you how do you want to roll that? What do you want to do? You see
Okay.
them lift the knife, and instantly it becomes clear this is not the little girl you were meant to save.
I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna be like, listen, you don't want to go down this path, all right? We've all had some hardships in life, but you don't want to go to prison for the rest of your life, little girl. Even though I know it's fully Ghostface.
What is your?
And so I think I'm rolling.
Your...
I think I'm rolling my charm.
You want to roll charm? What is your charm?
My charm is an 8.
Yeah. Let's roll your
3,
charm.
My heart is 5 and my charm is 3. So
yeah, that's great. That's an 8. Yeah. Let's roll your charm.
Okay, we got one.
Thank God!
Oh, thank God! Oh, thank God!
Oh, wow! You were really about to die. How does that work? How does it work?
It's like the knife was like coming down at me, and then like all of a sudden, like when they heard the words "You don't have to do this," their hands start shaking, and then the knife just falls to the ground, and they sort of collapse to their knees, sobbing.
They
and then
sobbing, and then what? And
then I pick up the knife and I say, "You're going to jail, you son of a bitch." So I just flip it immediately.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And this sort of knocks the sobbing out of Ghostface. They suck in their tears, and then they immediately turn and bolt down away from the burning building toward just an area you don't even know. It's to the left of the building. It's just more deep suburb. And while that's happening, while Ghostface runs out, Hazel and Wyatt, you come out of the building. Hazel, you've got that pram case deep under your thing. Wyatt, you've got vomit all down the front of your shirt. Penny and Peggy, you're in the yard. You're in the front of the library. The four of you met. You see the chicken is actually, Charleston has actually become quite good friends with the cat, and they are hugging each other and playing and being really cute in the front yard. And you have just enough time to sort of take in this scene and take in a few breaths when your faces go from red to blue. Dewey, thank you. From red, Dewey and Charleston have become friends. They're playing, and you're looking at this beautiful scene. Tom there too. And then your faces go from red to blue to red to blue to red to blue as the light of Sheriff Dan's cop car shines across your face. The library flames dying behind you, and Sheriff Dan approaching in his van, or in his police car. And that is how...
I want one request.
Yes.
Before when I see the police car come down, I want to kick Tom Cruise in the knee and throw the keys in his face and say, "That's for calling my mom a bitch." And I want
absolutely.
To do that.
Can you roll? Can you roll your force?
I'm gonna try. It'd be funnier if I just completely fail it, but I care. I totally care. All right, here we go. This is all his fault. Oh, so close. Can I add a die?
Can I give her my reroll?
I want to add a die.
Yeah, you can give her your reroll. You can give her your. You can add a die.
Oh, reroll. Okay, I will add a die and also steal your reroll. That is a 3d6.
Oh, and you have a oh no, you
have your own reroll.
You have your own reroll. Use your reroll.
This is very important.
I'm burning it. I'm burning all my stuff. Here we go.
I don't think
it's so important. Just wanna smack you in the face. It wasn't meant to be. I fall. If I could just I try to kick Tom Cruise in the shin, but I slip in the snow and I just start crying. I'm like, "Why did you do this to us? All you had to do was follow protocol." And yeah, that's it.
Amazing.
And I just say, I don't care who you are. Life has challenges. That's all I say.
And that is how we end. That is how we end tonight's episode of Slasher Town. Yes. Thank you all so very much. That was a blast. can we
Amazing.
let's go in a little semicircle and let's introduce ourselves and say how we can find each other on the socials.
Ooh, who do you want to start
Let's start with Wyatt down, and then we'll fan out.
Got it,
Hey, everybody,
got it.
I'm Trevor Adams. You can find me at Howlett, Howiett, on Twitter if you want. Instagram, Trevor.Adams, or Plunder Blunders, or whatever. That's pretty much it, and I'm here. Thanks for hanging out.
Hey, I'm going to take it from here. Hi, I'm Chelsea Bites. I was Hazel. You can find me anywhere at Chelsea Bites. Just pick your poison. It'll happen. I might mess around and build your computer. Who knows? And then we'll throw it on to my girl, you. That's good.
Hi everyone. Thank you. I also need a computer build, so I'm gonna, check in on you on that. You can find me on socials everywhere at Hello There Shoe, and throw it to my man who brings the ruckus.
Yeah.
That's
Listen, I'm Tom Cruise. You can find me at Tom Cruise. Check out my movie Top Gun Maverick. Just came out in theaters not too long ago. Lots of good reviews. Reviews. No, you can find me at SOHINKI on everything. Thanks so much, guys. This was really fun.
Yes, and I am
A
Dylan.
pleasure.
I'm the GM. You can find me on Instagram at Dylan Guerra, on Twitter at Dylan G. Guerra. My middle name's Gabriel. And I can't buy my handle from the guy named Dylan Guerra. He's a football player. And you can catch me here on Thursday doing the Kolok Rewind, deep diving into Kolok, which does star our friends Shu and Sohinki. This was a blast, y'all. Thank you so much to our mods, Gayaka and Angel Mitsu. Thank you to Silviana and Brandon. Brandon doing double duty as Pete Taduser, and art director Silviana as our Pete Taduser. Jack, our amazing social media manager, and Jack, our amazing community manager, and Kayla, our amazing social media manager. And our guest for the Kolok Rewind on Thursday is Ethan Nestor. So make sure to come check that out. We have lots of things. He has a lot of explaining to do to me.
Oh yeah.
Last time I interviewed him,
yeah, he does.
Oh yeah. His punch broke the stream. So I'm excited. Thank you all for doing this, and then we will be here for the next episode of Slasher Town next Monday. It's gonna be a blast. Thank you all so much for being here. Have a good night, everybody.
Night.
Hey, a sneezer. Want to play some blackjack?
What?
Hey.
Hey.
How you doing?
What? Is this a park?
Yeah, it's Mason Park. Remember Mason Park?
I'm at -13. Okay, I'm still alive. I'm still.